I started fasting even before I became a Muslim, and it was in the beginning it was very confusing for me because we have this perception like food makes sense, but water is something that you should have all the time. Why would how does it becomes good when you don't drink water? So it was that thing was a bit like confusing.
Assalamualaikum. In this episode of A Muslim Reverts Diary, we are going to interview a humanitarian. His name is Mr. Kumaran Nagapa. We are going to interview him via Skype. Let's go. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullah. Alhamdulillah.
So you just introduce yourself, like your name and your background before your conversion to Islam?
Okay, I'll try to keep it as short as possible. My name is Kumaran Nagapa. I was born and bred in Kuala Lumpur when I was 36. In 2013, 30th of August, I converted to Islam. I did my registration in Pejabat Agama Islam Daerah Kuala Selangor. And since then, I've been practicing Muslim, whereby I am being guided by the Majlis Agama Islam Selangor and Lembaga Zakat Selangor, and also I am being guided by all the classes of Fardu Ain, and also some of my ustads and ustazas who are teaching me in my personal learning adventure. Alhamdulillah, over the years, I've been living in this town, Bestari Jaya, formerly known as Batam Majuntai, because I got my hidayah when I was here. So I thought that maybe there is a reason for this, that perhaps there's a calling for me to do something here. So I decided to just live here. Alhamdulillah, I married a local person, and we have two daughters, age 6 and 2. We have a very active a lifestyle whereby we do a lot of this humanitarian work in this area. It is some people say it's called dawah, but I think it's actually just humanitarian work, because to be a good human is being a good Muslim. You see, sometimes people ask me like, do you help us because you want us to become Muslims? I said, no, I only help you because we can all become humans.
You never changed your name?
No. When I wanted to register for my pengislaman, they were asked me for a name, and then I couldn't think of one off the cuff, because I wasn't prepared for. And then when I got back and all, I thought about it, and then I spoke to a lot of my friends. I was already learning about Islam even before I converted, so I also found out that it was not necessary for you to change your name. And the other thing is, the name is not something that I chose. You see, it was given to me by someone else. My parents, right? So I think since they gave me my name, so if should I change my name, then it should be given by them. So I should win their heart first before I change my name.
Do you have any funny stories maybe before you become Muslim?
Oh, there's probably a lot of them. Yeah, it's a very pertinent question you asked, but I could give you one example. Like, this is one of my favorites, I would say. One of the reasons how I got my hidayah was when I was exposed to the word kifaya, because in the past I was thinking that Islam was a religion that does not give importance to science and technology. And fardu, it's not just kifaya, it's fardu kifaya. Fardu means it's important, isn't it? Yeah. So I realized that how that is how my perception towards Islam changed, and so I was very excited about this word, fardu kifaya. So when the next day I met my friends and I started asking them, fardu kifaya ni apa? And then they say, itu gali kubur. Kan? So the local perception, when they associate the word kifaya, they like to associate it with gali kubur or no. So that was very funny, because what I read about kifaya is everybody, like doctors, engineers, like people who clear our rubbish, for example. These are all the people who are doing the thing that they do is good for Ummah, you see.
Yeah.
So that's Fardu Kifaya, yeah.
So maybe you can also share your first Ramadan memories.
I started fasting even before I became a Muslim, and it was in the beginning it was very confusing for me because we have this perception like food makes sense, but water is something that you should have all the time. Why would how does it becomes good when you don't drink water? So it was that thing was a bit like confusing. But as I started practicing and fasting for longer days, I realized that it's actually teaching us to also manage the fluids in our body. So it's not just about the permintaan ataupun tuntutan agama, but it's just our physiological tuntutan also is there. So it's very important to fast. Actually, it's not just we should fast because in Islam it is the tenets. No, we should fast because we need. It is good for our body. So for me, that experience was actually eye opener lah. Lebih mendekatkan saya dengan Islam tu lah.
Was it hard for you when you fast for the first time? You do it straight away from Fajar to dawn?
In my life, in the past, I have experienced a lot of traveling and going to places where there is low resources. So sometimes I have trouble getting food. Okay, so it is not something that is for me. That is individually, I think it wasn't hard, but I wouldn't assume the same for everyone. Yeah.
Do you think like us, the born Muslim, we haven't done enough to share the good message of Islam?
This is my humble opinions. I'm not a very, I am still a fakir ilmu. So the question that you ask is a very important and big question, and it is a difficult question to answer as well. So in my opinion, I feel that hidayah Allah bagi. Okay, the hidayah is given by our Creator. Okay, whoever he wants to be in Islam, he will give them the hidayah. So that's how it works. Okay, in spreading the message, the spreading the message, it has to be done in a organic way. Anything that is done excessively may actually backfire. It can build a wall around the people who are non-Muslims. These Muslim peoples. They always come and want to talk about Islam to us. I wouldn't say that people are not doing enough, but at the same time, I wouldn't say that people should do more, because it has to happen organically. In our journey, in being a Muslim in Batam Bujuntai, Alhamdulillah, we have the opportunity to witness more than 150 people converted to Islam.
MashaAllah.
And a lot of these people, they come to us and they tell me like, hey Kumar, you know what, I want to become a Muslim. So what do I do? So that's how it starts. It's never like we going and telling them, hey, how about you? Do you know about Islam? Or we never do that. We just do humanitarian work.
Yeah.
And they just know that I'm a Muslim. There was very hardly any little preaching. Nevertheless, there was a lot of things that we shared, memories, and we shared food, and we shared deep connections. That we did a lot. And I think that is also a form of dawah as well. And we were very sincere about what we wanted to do. We cared for the people. A lot of these people are like big families for me. Mostly young people. They were scared of their family members, so they come to us, get guided. We speak to them. We do counseling, pre-shahada counseling. Speak to their parents. It was very hard. It was hard work. Yeah, hard work. And everyone that converted as well, we don't just like Alhamdulillah and then take a picture of the shahada, and then it was like kind of like a lifetime thingy. So they end up becoming like our uncles and aunts or our cousins, or those kind of relationships. So it is not like I should do more. So there's never about numbers. It's about your capacity to take care of them. And that's what's unique to us, is that we shied away from all the big projects, and we focused on staying in just one place and helping a group of people.
your advice to the new Muslims?
Yeah, to the new Muslims, I think first of all, you are really lucky people because you are becoming a Muslim in a country where Islam is majority. There's a lot of help that the government and agencies and non-governmental agencies, public, the masjids, they're ready to help you. But it all depends on what kind of relationship you have with them. Okay, one of the biggest challenge we faced in the countryside, because I can speak to only the places that I'm exposed to. So this is a big stereotype that is happening, that when they say, oh, these people, they become Muslim just for the bantuan. So that they can get money, they can get, because in Selangor you are given a lot of benefits when you become a Muslim. So they have this perception that people come just for what you call to get bantuan. So that is actually not very true, right? A lot of people come to Islam because they want to actually a better life. Just don't stick to your class Fardu Ain, and your masjid or your program. I had the opportunity to go for Umrah just in late January this year. And I was so fascinated to see the entire people of all colors gathering in one place. There is a unity in diversity.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, I understand.
So I just want our mu'alaf to not to open up their mind and get to know the Islam, the greatness of Islam. You should also expose yourself to the ideology of you are belonging now. Sometimes they think they are small and they are suffering. I went through the same stage. When I became Muslim, because of the all the pressure and separation, I felt like I was really alone and my world was really small. But in reality, it's actually the opposite. Yeah. So this is my advice. Like I said, I'm just a fakir ilmu. So from my experience, I think if I could give some advice to people, new Reverts, I would say that just remember, Islam is really big and the world is really big. Open and learn and absorb everything like a sponge. Yeah, and let your ibadah be a result of your understanding, not just because you're following instructions.
Click subscribe to Good Tidings Net now.